if there are audible comments, applause, or any expression of emotion by people in attendance or the public, it will be removed. And I don't want any unnecessary movement.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Freaking.com.
Put your hands on. I hope you feel good about yourselves. I hope you feel good about taking these daughters to jail. Come on, let's go. All of us.
Meg was charged with riot, whatever that means. But then I believe they dropped that pretrial, and then I don't know if she got a resisting arrest charge, but Ian did, and like we said, that was dropped. So he ultimately faced 2 years in a cage, and like we've been saying, 90 days.
Back over somebody. Hey, you're using force again, man. You're hurting.
So we've been talking about my partner Ian's arrest here and incarceration, trial and incarceration today. And so where we were in the story is that he had filed a 91A request and been bumped from the district court to the superior court for a jury trial because they were offering him, hey, would you like to see the judge that hates your guts and have him judge your trial here?
Yeah, Judge Burk.
Judge Burk. And, frankly, Judge Burk has, dealt with Ian on multiple occasions. He doesn't think that his activism is beneficial. He thinks that he's doing the wrong thing.
I don't think Judge Burke's activism is beneficial.
Agreed. I wonder what these people think about civil disobedience. Do they think Rosa Parks, who broke the law, should have been incarcerated? Do they think that Martin Luther King should have been tossed in jail? He was. Do they think that those 4 black boys that sat at that Woolworths counter should have been thrown in jail?
They would have to.
They were creating disturbances.
Yeah.
No, they don't think that, though.
That was the law back then.
Right. They think that, that period in our history is put behind us, and now, from now on, you must go through the system. As though the system isn't as ponderous and difficult to navigate, unnavigable. I mean, if you want to get a stop sign, if you want to get the speed limit changed in front of your house, you know how difficult that is. Just think about the idea
of
getting
a system.
Going through the system and getting the speed limit changed in front of your house. Think about doing something that really matters.
But there is a system.
There is a system.
There is a system.
It is designed not to change.
And it sucks.
It's broken. It's a broken system. And like Buckminster Fuller once said, don't try to heal a broken system. Create a new one.
Yeah, and I mean, create it within yourself. Just like Ian said, be the change you want to see in the world, like Gandhi said. And the day in the park where Ian intervened, everybody else was being peaceful except for employees of the city of Keene, employed to enforce laws in the same way that people enforce laws in Iran that say men can't wear necklaces, or in some of the European countries where they say women can't wear burqas.
Or the women have to wear burqas.
Right.
Is the law in some countries too.
Sure.
So, this idea that somehow, because it's the law, it's just, is really flawed. Now, what Ian did ask the jury to do was judge the law, and he was allowed to, go on about this. He did jury nullification. I don't trust juries, frankly. I mean, I just don't. I think they're more of, rather than a fourth check and balance on government, I think they're more of a study of human action in groups. And that, when you take a look at the Stanford prison experiments and the Milgram experiments, and, you look at how people bend to authority and how how power corrupts, that, juries are really no better. That, even if you were on that jury and you said, well, I think the guy had a point, that the other 11 people were like, shut up, we want to go home.
But part of that, I think, is that the people on the jury don't know what their rights are. They think that the judge is all-powerful and they have to listen to everything the judge says. They haven't been educated as to what their rights are as jurors, as part of that process, part of that proceeding, where they are just as powerful as the judge, probably even more so, because they can say not guilty based on the law itself, the justness or injustice of the law.
Well, I think Ian did a good job by educating them about jury nullification. And I've been to many trials in my time, but this is the first time I've ever seen a prosecutor admit, yes, there is a right to jury nullification.
He did say, yeah, he absolutely said it. He didn't say jury nullification, but he said you had the, if right you want to nullify, you can do that.
Right.
And
that's good.
Yeah, it's stunning that there were some victories certainly had by Ian today, if you consider ending up in a cage a victory.
But Ian handled himself well. I mean, Ian can hold his head up high because he represented his point of view well and didn't back down, and that's probably why the judge took him right away and inflicted so much pain.
Yeah, this judge decided to go above and beyond the sentence that was handed down by the district court.
And what the prosecutor recommended.
Why? Probably because Ian screwed with this guy. He's made him look like a fool.
If there are audible comments, applause, or any expression of emotion by people in attendance or the public, it will be removed. And I don't want any unnecessary movement, and there will be no standing of anybody if there are insufficient seats, which I don't believe there will be. You both may be seated, by the way. There will be no standing or loitering around in the courtroom. It is my intention to stop the trial. If any of that occurs, I will dismiss the jury, and the people will be removed. It is also my intention, if it is unclear as to who the offender is, I'm going to clear the courtroom.
Egypt people is very nice, and if the Egypt people take my advice, they will strike down the one-party state they fear. But that had better not happen here, 'cause we know that everything would fall apart if the city of Keene, New Hampshire starts to listen to the malcontents at Free Keene and kind of cut spending, 'cause the government needs some expensive things like the wasteful 34 West building and the boondoggle jail where we put hat wearers and other people who could be considered swearers. Freaking.com